The Miami Dolphins truly appreciate you guys' support, but I'm going to have to call into question your priorities. We have 2 playoff games today. Okay, just making sure. I mean, OTAs are very important. I'm telling the players the same thing, but playoffs. Yeah. You guys got anything? We good?
Yeah, I guess we could ask you about the 2 recent additions since the draft. With Sony, Coach, was the thinking and just you can't have enough quality backs, obviously, with Jason, Raheem, and Miles and Savon. And with Ingram, was there just a feel that another edge player could help for depth reasons?
Well, the latter of the 2, I have not seen pen to paper yet.
Okay.
So we'll talk about our Dolphins players, but hopefully we'll be able to talk about him soon. Sony, you have an opportunity in the offseason to add a player of his caliber, of his pedigree, just him as a human being, and a multiple Super Bowl winner. That we jumped at the opportunity. His interests fit our interests, and competition for the Miami Dolphins is only a good thing. And I think one thing that's unique about that particular room is no one shies away from competition, and everybody in there is excited for the offense, for the opportunities, and wants the best man to win, and aren't backing away from that.
And with Mostert, are all indications of his recovery suggesting that he should be ready for the start of the season? Do you feel good about that?
I know his expectations are to play week 1, and we are not going to rush it. He's come too far to have a setback, so he's just diligently working day in, day out. But when he's ready, he'll be on the field for sure.
What is something you want to instill or establish in your team at this early stage in OTAs?
I think we've begun that process. There's 3 phases in the NFL offseason. Phase 1 is meeting room exclusive, and guys, and we're currently in phase 3, where we're actually able to practice for the second time. And phase 2, you get to do some drill work and coach them on the field, not in team settings, but and all 3 phases are really cool to me for the specific reason that you get to coach and not prepare for an opponent. So we're learning a different language on one side of the ball, and we're refining a language on the other side of the ball. But realistically, you want guys committed to getting better, and you want to really establish how you're going to go about business. We had a bunch of time to prepare for. We had two voluntary mini camps, and now we're this afternoon. You guys will see our second OTA, and what was important to me is you don't skip steps in this business. So if we want to make strides and progress as an organization, as a football team, we have to position ourselves so that when we come back for training camp, that we're able to practice and operate at a high caliber level that fits, our goals. And there's no easy way to do that. You just don't wish things to happen. You take matters into your hands in the game of football. And guys, I'm very proud of the way they've approached everything from that standpoint.
Mike, we haven't asked you yet, I don't believe, about a player with sort of an interesting skill set. Your views on Lynn Bowden and what he can offer?
Lynn he does have an interesting skill set. I've always been drawn to players that have multiple positions, specifically quarterback experience, because of the way they see the game. Lynn's been battling some hamstring stuff. He's been diligent in the meeting room, and I don't really get ahead of myself when I'm really looking at our team, and I don't think his teammates should either. We'll know if Lynn's ready to contribute to the team when he's on the field, and we're trying to get him there and he's making sure. I know he's making sure that he's prepared for his opportunity when he is healthy.
I want to ask you about the offense in terms of what unit or what group is it the most difficult to sort of implement this offense, teach them what you want to do fundamentally in the core scheme?
The most drastic disparity from whatever you'd call quote traditional. You enter in when you're coaching players. You're very aware of their past coaching. You make yourself aware of that so that you can best articulate, hey, this is like this or this is not like this. The biggest disparity from a traditional standpoint is the offensive line, without a doubt. It is a full-scale commitment to certain principles and ownership of fundamentals that we ask them to do and to major in. So as far as the off-season program is concerned, it's almost built for our offensive linemen in terms of how to approach things, because you need about 2 weeks of an hour and a half or hour and 45-minute meetings, which is what phase one allows you to digest. Hey, we're asking you to run off the ball. We're asking you to have these landmarks. We're asking you not to hesitate. And then phase two, you can kind of drill it. That, I think, in terms of, Johnny, don't know his name, coming on the team, and then all of a sudden being thrown into the mix, I think that it's the hardest position because we are so committed to our fundamentals and technique. And, offensive linemen are like officials, I would say, where you're not talking about them, and that's a good thing. And they have scars from when they are talked about. So to get them to just let go and let all that stuff, let the past be the past and move forward is the most deliberate and intentional thing that as a coaching staff we have to do. One of the reasons that kind of shaped my whole vision for hiring a coaching staff, I wanted to make sure that the guys that were touching those players, we would be able to see the results of the scheme, and people really dive in and invest, understand where they're coming from, some of the stuff that they have in their past, and let that go and move forward. And I feel very, very comfortable and confident and happy with what started with Matt Applebaum, and Lem has been doing an outstanding job understanding everything that we're trying to do. Mike Person, and then Frank Smith, obviously the offensive coordinator. So that position is probably, I'm not sure if do you have any interest in the offensive line position? Am I boring you? But that it's exciting too, because you get to see guys at that position. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of, it's liberating to a degree, because they're listen, the guys that if I were to tell you that on this team, and this is my 7th team, been in a lot of different places, but this is the as athletic and capable of any group that you might be like, huh? Are you crazy? But they really are, and they're hungry and committed, and it's been really, really rewarding to watch them work, see the benefits, and then more than that, what's going to happen with your first adversity? Because this just in, offensive linemen have adversity; they live in adversity, and how are they going to respond to a run play where they're short on their aiming point? And Christian makes you pay in the backfield, or Sealer or whoever, and that's the fun part of this part of the year, is you get to focus on them and not an opponent.
Can you talk a little bit about what you see maybe from the rookies or the undrafted free agents so far, besides just their physical traits and what they can do on the field, but maybe the character and how they fit within the team?
Overall, as a group, I feel that all the parties involved in acquiring them, I hold undrafted free agents with high esteem. Like, they aren't just like throw-ins. They're important to me. We've had a multitude of success over the years having undrafted free agents really impact your team. And what I will say is, as a group, it's a testament to the organization, the scouting department, Chris Greer, and the collection of people, because we have the right types of people. This is overwhelming. You have to understand that rookies, people don't really view it this way, but I was just talking to the guys yesterday, is they are coming in trying to make a living at something amongst people that have been doing it professionally for years. So, and then you're doing that in a language that you're like, what? You just got introduced to this stuff, so you're triple behind the eight ball. You get to find out fast if guys are tough-minded enough. And I will say they are made of the right stuff so far, having one weekend with them, and then this being the second OTA.
Recently, you have joint practices with the Buccaneers this preseason. What you can get out of that, and are there any other joint practices this team will have?
Crafty. Yeah, no, the joint practices are outstanding for everyone involved, because you have there's only so far you can go when going against each other before things start to hurt more than they help. So that having different schemes, coverages, incredibly impactful. Having different offenses for run fits, and all of that stuff is super impactful. We're going to start out, we're practicing 2 days against Tampa, and can't wait to see you guys type really fast, but we're going to have joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Both scenarios, see, I told you. Both scenarios were feel very fortunate that things worked out with Coach Bowles and Coach Sirianni, but we're excited about that, and I think our players will be too.
Coach, when you first arrived here, you talked a little bit about this being your dream job. You've worked for 20 years towards it. I was just curious, over the course of getting here, teaching, coaching, getting on the grass, how has your experience lived up to the expectation of your dream job?
Surpassed it. No, it's it's just really fun to express a lot of the things that you didn't know if you ever had the opportunity to do, and I feel and I'm surrounded with so many people that are supporting and help driving the force, that it truly feels like a team that we're working together for a common goal, which that is what football is all about.
Mike, you have probably three guys on this team who are not only fast but eager to show they are the fastest on this team. Are you going to let them race? And most importantly, are we going to see it?
Well, with a persuasive argument, maybe you could convince. I'm not going to tell them not to race. I love competitors. I'm also not going to force them to race. So you really see. If I were you guys, and they would do so at one of the, I think, 5 practices that you guys are at, and you guys were able maybe to persuade them to do it at one, the guy pushing for the race the hardest, I would put my wagers on amongst your betting selves. I would not bet because there are some very, very fast guys on the team, but I enjoy the fact that they're competitive about that, and I would never keep them from doing so. But I'm more trying to get them to figure out how to run a route, defend a go ball, or run the ball. Did I cover all my bases? I did. Then to have them compete in a race. We do track miles per hour on every practice, so they don't necessarily need to race side by side for me to put that in front of them as a motivating factor, if you will.
If you're, I'm just
Tell
gonna
us
ask
who's
you,
the fastest now.
go ahead, Daniel. I have one more, if you could.
No, go ahead.
And- Okay, and then you. If it's going to two, is that allowed? Okay,
We'll go Daniel and Barry, and then he's gonna be least first.
okay.
I was just saying, you gotta tell us who's the fastest now if you know you're tracking it.
I mean, I don't have to. No, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be fair yet because not all players have been, not all players are able to take part in the race yet. But yeah, there's been a good amount of 22 and dare I say 21 and 22 miles per hour runners out there, and I'm not going to be mad if there's more additionally in the future.
Mike, if you're willing to share this in May, anyone beyond Mostert and Bowden, if we don't see out there today going full or going out there at all, that are out for health reasons, injury reasons that you're able to share, so we're not guessing when we're out there watching?
I mean, you don't technically have to guess. You can just holler at me and I could answer your question. As far as that test question, I don't really know off the top of my head. I know Ann's probably sitting there and like, yes, you do. And I'm like, no, I don't. No, we're the veterans that have earned the right over their career, and the science backs up that right now it's not best served for them to be out there. We're not gonna put them out there. There's from any given day that can vary, but we try to be very intentional and deliberate in everything we do. So there's no absolute with anything. The best thing for the Dolphins is each and every player is ready for week one, and however we get there is the way we'll handle those things.